Good day and welcome to JCTV Africa. My name is Marvelous Dlamini and thank you so much for joining us. This is our daily roundup where we give you the trending stories from the Sunshine City and just across the country. So today in the morning, instead of giving you the daily update, we gave you an interview that we had with Tau Gringo, that is the late Gringo's son, where he was telling us about his father's legacy and how he's carrying it forward. But now we're back to give you the trending stories from the Sunshine City. Good afternoon.
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Looking forward to the weekend. And what's up for your weekend?
I'm going to be covering the by-elections. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I just want to see what's going to happen, and in terms of the voter turnout, something. Yeah. So I want to go there and be the witness so that I can give you information first.
Yeah. Definitely, it's an interesting one. That one, Mount Pleasant and Harare East is gonna be. They are going to be locking horns, and I think that is our first talk of the evening.
Yes, definitely. And now that we have highlighted that tomorrow there are by-elections, we have got an independent candidate from Harare East, that is Ropafado Cynthia Cheza. She has come out to highlight that the ruling party, that is ZANU-PF, actually banned a rally or a campaign last week to pave way for the vice president in ZANU-PF to hold their rally in Harare East. So she was saying that this is an act of being cowards. So she was saying that ZANU-PF people are scared that they might lose or that they are going to lose, because she was certain that she's going to win the by-elections. Yes,
very disingenuous of the ruling party, and it is a dent on the democracy and free and fair elections, practices that are supposed to be upheld. And when we're seeing that opposition are not allowed to hold rallies, we have seen this with Nelson Chamisa, when the CCC fold, that they will not be allowed in some places. In some places, they would have to beg the police for them to complete their rallies, which is very, very unfortunate, especially now we're saying we are 44 years into democracy and these things continue to happen. So I really think that it is not good for democracy, but anyway, it has happened. However, there is also another subject that is also there, that you look at the CCC, that probably the opposition is orphaned, and therefore the chaos that is there now gives also another edge to the ZANU-PF for them to scoop all these by-elections, because the voters are not sure which is which, because their leader, who was in the form of Nelson Chamisa, is not there, and that gives another opportunity for the ruling party to take, because there will be much voter apathy.
Yeah, definitely. And also looking at the fact that Ropafado was actually part of CCC when Nelson Chamisa was there. And now looking at the fact that she has decided to go independent. It's the same with Brian Tiki, who is also going to be participating, that is on the Mount Pleasant constituency. To say most of the CCC candidates, they've actually decided to go independent. I'm sure it's also the fear of being recalled and stuff like that, looking at what had happened before in the past, you know. So I'm also thinking the fact that now it doesn't seem like we have got really a strong opposition, and these independent candidates, maybe they might stand a chance against ZANU-PF, or they might not, since they didn't manage to actually campaign fully as ZANU-PF candidates did.
Yeah, definitely, it's very, very concerning, and it puts the opposition in bad light, and especially now that there are factions, there is no surety who is leading who, and who are they? Are they ZANU-PF opposition, or they are opposition? You know, there's gray areas there, and very, very concerning to say, do we have actually an opposition in Zimbabwe? Or when Nelson Chamisa left, that was the going of the opposition.
Yes, that's why I'm looking at it like that. Look, that's why a lot of people are now accusing Brian Tiki of using Nelson Chamisa's face, while he's on the side of ZANU-PF, but then he's using that face so that people can now go on the side and vote. And they're saying that he's probably going to show his true colors after he's voted in. But then it's something that we're yet to see. And still on that, there's also information that members of FAZ are actually being deployed to polling stations, where they'll be actually monitoring and seeing what is happening. But now the story with FAZ is that that during last year, during the elections, that is 2023, they were saying that these members were actually sitting outside the polling stations asking people after voting or before voting to say, whom are you voting for? Which party are you going to vote for? So it's kind of like casting intimidation on the people that were voting, and now seeing that they are going to be there during the by-elections again. It's actually concerning as well.
Yes. FAZ and how they carried that name, and it was also in that SCOM report that FAZ was seen to be intimidating people, even though they came out trying to defend their stance and saying that this is a normal practice, but it then gives them that bad influence that they had in the 2023 elections. But anyway, let's see how it pans out, if they win or if the opposition loses.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to cover that tomorrow and see who wins and who doesn't win. But now moving on to our next story. I'm sure you still remember the e-creator story.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
A lot of people were scammed with their thousands because of e-creator. And now the information is that one of the directors, e-creator directors that was arrested, he has been granted bail. That was 1,000 bail today by the magistrate. And so I'm getting worried, so to say, are we going to see e-creator coming back as well, since people are being released, or it's just a thing of
Yeah, I always say that if it looks too good to be true, don't join it. And the challenges that you find with these Ponzi schemes is that once the big people that studied the pyramid scheme withdraw their money, then it crumbles like a stack of of cards. So what I always encourage people is, don't fall for these get rich quick schemes, because in the end your hands will be bent. So the safest thing is never to join, because the law is not going to help you to retrieve your hard-earned money. And it's a very sad reality that we find ourselves in, whereby these people that scam people, whether you go into America or any other economy, you find that there are all these Ponzi schemes that come up, and in the end, nobody gets their money back.
Yeah, definitely. And also looking at the fact that it's a lot of people that lost their monies, and these people, they are so good at plotting their whole scheme and how it's gonna work out, and they always target the people. For example, if they come to me and I put my $10 there first, at the end of the day I get a 50, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back with 100 and say, okay, I got a 50 today, tomorrow I'm going to get more. And that's how they plan the entire thing. And it might take you time to actually notice it, or notice it when they are gone, or because a lot of people noticed when they were being told that e-creators actually disappeared and people had caught, people have been arrested, and that's when they were like, oh, okay, we've been scammed. And that's how it happened. But it's something that people should actually watch out for and be careful of such things, because I'm sure it's going to come back in form of another name, and
yes.
people are still going to get scammed.
Yeah, remember there was Bevan Capital, Juta, and all other these. They come in different form and size, but if you just hear that there's going to be more money that you are going to get, which is more than the money that you get as an interest from the bank, just know that you are about to get scammed.
Yeah, yes. Okay, and also another story that we maybe would want to discuss today as a part of the education system. We know that there were the colors that were introduced, that was a continuous assessment that were being done to students from primary to secondary. They're actually being scrapped out. The cabinet is agreed that they're going to be scratched out, and they are going to be replaced by something that is called heritage-based education, where especially O-level students, they actually now have a limit of 8 subjects, to say they've got 5 compulsory subjects, and then they can choose 3 of their own choices. So from my end, I think that's a great development in terms of the colors, because I thought they were actually not fair to the students, especially looking at the younger ones. And because a lot of people, they never did them anyways, they would come to us, the grown people, and be like, can you write this for me? And they pass and they continue. So at the end of the day, nobody learned anything. But now looking at this also, I think it also reduces the number of subjects that someone can actually do, because I've been seeing lately students who write about 20 O levels.
It doesn't make sense. You see, the challenge that I have with our African education is it is producing workers instead of producing thinkers and people that are supposed to be innovators. Look at the phones that we are seeing, we are using, and all the technology that we are seeing. In other countries, they are teaching people nowadays advent of the 4th Industrial Revolution, and some of our subjects that we are learning they are still in the they are still not even in this in the third industrial revolution. So it raises questions whether do we want to achieve what do we want to achieve as a as a nation, not as a nation per se, but as a continent. So I really think that we really need to relook at our education system and look at what it can produce. Can it produce people that are producers, and can it produce people that are going to be captains in their industries or captains in the world? For me, that is really concerning, because we've got so many graduates around Africa, but when you look at the innovations that they've produced and what we've allowed to sell outside the world, it's very minimal and very little.
Yeah,
we're still consumers, and that is very concerning.
Yeah, I think that's a great development there in terms of the education system.
Yes,
I was personally worried to say during my time I wrote 8 O levels, but then seeing other students writing 20 and someone will be having arts, commercial, sciences at the same time, and then they go to A level, you have to choose one elective, either sciences, arts or commercial. So then why did I do 20 subjects to come and choose 3? So I think that's a great development there. And then maybe our last story today, you were telling me about how you spoke to Patricia Jacks and my Titi story. What's going on there?
Yes. She posted on a timeline that my Titi has decided to withdraw the case against that Maka guy, and the story that is there is that she has not given reasons why they are withdrawing the case. But as well, I highlighted yesterday that she was ill-informed of how this thing that was, this case that was before the courts, that now you have got one person that you are accusing, and then you go on a spree of accusing other individuals when the matter is still under investigation. So a big blunder that she did, but also her child Fifi in the whole matter, and that makes the matter to be very complicated. And I think citing all those mistakes or those errors that she did, that's when she realized that she needs to withdraw that case indefinitely. But she might be faced with another lawsuit, because the one that she was accusing of trying to extort Fifi of $5,000 online, she said that she's now going to sue her for defamation. So it might turn out to be an interesting case altogether after this story, because I was of the view that as much as we wouldn't want to see the nudes of this young girl displayed online, she needed to toe the line between reprimanding a child or trying to defend a child who is doing something that is nasty. And I think that she failed as a parent to toe the line and bring in the child to say, make a child an example, even though she needed to defend her. But she did a terrible job in defending a child.
Okay, yeah, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that story as well and see if there are more charges that are going to be pressed against her, or it's just going to be the end of the case, and we'll keep updating. But anyways, that was our daily roundup, which happens to be our weekly roundup as well. Make sure that you join us again on Monday. My name is Marvelous Lamini.
And I'm Kenan Rusike, and we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.